Portugal is officially off the EU bailout hook, but is it out of the woods? We take a look at whether the country can now stand on its own feet after years of painful austerity. Portugal has become the second EU nation to shake off the shackles of the international bailout program. But even though 3 years of the harshest austerity are formally over, economists are at loggerheads whether there's a reason to celebrate. And here's why. Unemployment still lingering at around 15%, despite government claims the economy is returning to growth. There's still a long way to go to a full recovery, with banks needing more reforms to resume lending. New data also shows a drop in Portugal's GDP in the first quarter of this year, with analysts saying the country is too dependent on foreign investment. Add to that the fact that Portugal's debt level is at startling 130% of its output. That's an eye-watering 214 billion euros in the red. European lenders seem to be making an example of Portugal, referring to austerity as painful but the right medicine for the country's ills. But for many ordinary people, it has come at a very high price. Protests against deep spending cuts have been raging throughout the country, while hundreds of thousands have immigrated after seeing living standards shrink dramatically. Political economist Jack Rasmus says there's little hope for improvement in the nearest future.
Right now, everything is all focused on how can we save the government debt and how can we do something about the banks. The problem is all of this financial development really has very little effect on the real economy in Portugal. You still have very high unemployment, you still have austerity, and of course we see in the first quarter of this year that Portugal's GDP dropped 0.7%, one of the biggest drops among the Eurozone economies. There is no real indication that the real economy is recovering, and therefore jobs will recover, the most important thing, and incomes will recover for the general populace. Therefore, it looks like austerity is going to continue.